What's up, everybody? This is Nick, and you're joining us once again for a Pull Up a Chair podcast. A Pull Up a Chair podcast where we talk to you about things that, well, really interest us. And as always, I'm joined by my friend and co-host.
Oh, this is Eric, and yeah, we do talk about things that interest us.
That's really all that matters, Eric, is what interests us, because what interests us interests the people that listen to us.
Listen, we're so interested.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
I got it.
Because Eric, we have our pulse on culture,
Yep.
our finger on the pulse of culture, and we know what's on people's minds.
We do.
Because I guarantee you, the people that are out there listening, they are probably thinking of the same thing that we're thinking of at this moment.
That's very
At this
I know
time.
we're thinking of the same thing, and we'll only
Eric-
assume. Hey, pause it, and if you're on a computer, go to Facebook.com, look up Pull Up Chair Podcast. Tell us what you're thinking, and we'll let you know if that was what we were thinking.
Well, we'll just tell you that, yes, that's what we were thinking. I mean, you tell us what you're thinking, and that'll just confirm that we know what you're thinking. That's all I'm getting at. So, Eric, today, you know what I was thinking about something today, and it was something I read earlier. Did you know, and get this, Microsoft, there was a recent leak of an update, and people have been looking at the code. Well, there was a thing discovered that Microsoft may be doing updates as a pay-as-you-go thing in Windows 10.
That's interesting. I had not heard that until you just told me just a little bit ago when we were starting to talk about it, and we're like, hold on, let's just get on mic and talk about it. That's a model. If you get the OS for free and they maintain all your updates every month, like let's say this is a service they rolled out. What would you pay for that, Nick, if you say wanted it? As I know you mentioned this earlier, it's like probably commercial.
Well, yeah, and that's what they're saying is it'll start off aimed at businesses. Well, they haven't said anything, but they said they're aiming at businesses for doing this. But of course, this has made people question, like, how long will it just be businesses?
Yeah.
Because eventually it's going to, big business, it'll trickle down to the just
consumer.
early consumer.
Yeah, it usually does. That's how most things work.
Well, and that you got to give it up here to Microsoft, because they have done this to where they gave away Windows 10 for, and I put in quotes here, free.
Yeah, there's some reasons behind that. Did we ever talk about that?
No.
Okay. One of mine was they were trying to get off the market those corrupted 98 second editions, those XPs, just some like people who pretty much only hack the Windows system.
Right.
Which I'm not saying I've done that. I have, but they
for shame, Eric.
There's a lot of security risk in that. It was to help, I think, to stem some of the cyber issues a little bit with people using Trojans and worms to collect, what do they call that? When they collect a bunch of computers and they do distributed network attacks and stuff like that. I forget what those networks are called.
Well, Eric, I don't know about this hacking of the operating system. I know nothing of those things. I have always had a legit operating system on my machines. This is in no way true. I have hacked many Windows, but no, I mean, I can kind of understand from that point of view, but I mean, in a lot of ways, I think even beyond that, they were trying to set it up for something like this, because as the article I read pointed out, they've always referred to Windows 10 as a service.
Yeah, that's the term service. It's used a lot now.
Yeah.
Versus a product or anything else.
The word service is thrown around a lot these days. Eric, pull up a chair is a service.
We're a podcasting service.
Yeah. Bringing the news to the people.
Well, currently for free,
but
who knows?
For monthly updates, we're going to charge.
if you want to have any updates to that news,
yes, you're gonna have to pay us a monthly fee. But I mean, that's what they're wanting to do is have people pay a monthly fee to upgrade or update the computer. The other thing that would have to come with that, though, is that Microsoft would actually have to do updates. Now, you asked me a second ago, and I never answered how much I would pay for this.
Yeah, I was reading an update to this real quick on a site, and they said the Microsoft Managed Desktop was also, you get hardware with it.
Oh, so they send you a computer?
This is an optional subscription service for businesses that includes a lease of physical PC hardware, which happens to be running Windows 10. It's not an accident. That's a weird way to say that. Those businesses aren't just paying for software. So it sounds like we owe you already do this to some degree.
So I mean, our company does it too. We do it through Dell, though.
Yeah, that's what we do ours through Dell. It's very similar. You lease and you get the OS and.
So is Microsoft trying to get in on that business?
I guess. I don't understand. I don't know. I could see this. I mean, look at this. Okay, you just helped me go get my car, right? My car broke over the weekend. Horrible time to break. In another town, not far away, but apparently the battery went out, but it short-circuited. Battery became worthless. Didn't know that until they looked at it after I got it towed to the mechanic and got it back today. But I was thinking, man, I sure wish I had a service where I subscribed to get a car, of course self-driving, and if something broke, another car could come pick me up, and I subscribe to this service. That's my vision of the future, is where I don't own a car, but I have access to them through a service, through a monthly fee. You know, it's like, hey, I get so many miles a month, kind of like a cell phone plan. You get, for the data side, you get so many miles a month, and they might roll over.
Okay.
You know, and I was thinking maybe it's, I mean, let's say you got a PC at certain specs, say you wanted a gaming PC, and they kept it up to date, and all that good stuff. Man, I would not buy a gaming PC from Microsoft, though. I just couldn't do that. I don't know.
Well, do you think I mean, there's a lot of questions that go into this, because I don't know. I mean, yes, that could be part of it. I don't know, because some of the things I'm reading, that's not all of it. Because, I mean, are they going... I think the business model might be good to do that with Dell, too. To charge Dell, charge companies that work with Dell on getting their computers to upgrade. I don't think it's just going to be the ones they rent out.
I have no idea. So, from what I understand... let's see here.
Because I'm reading an article that was 8 hours ago was when it was posted.
Yeah, this update that I was reading is from, I don't have a timestamp on this one. Probably pretty recent. Today is the day it came out. No, this one came out a couple days ago. I'm sorry. So if yours came out sooner, I mean, more recent, then I'd go with that. Because I'm assuming for marketing and PR terms, they're trying to clarify what they're doing a little bit more, so things don't get out of hand. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. What would you pay? Say it wasn't a PC at all. Just you got Windows 10 and they upgraded it, kept it managed for you.
Well, and one of the services that's supposed to come with this, and I guess this Microsoft Managed Desktop thing is from the article I'm reading here. It is part of this. Like, this is a part of it where you rent the hardware. I guess because they're saying that it's actually going to include keeping all of your peripherals up to date too, your drivers.
Yeah, but I already do that. And there's like one-time purchase software that does that.
Yeah, but they're gonna work that in, Eric. This is a convenience thing.
Convenience, man. Talk about convenience fees, man.
Gosh. Now here's the thing, though. You asked me how much I would pay for it.
Yes,
Are we talking like now? Because you need the updates. Because when historically Microsoft has like their operating systems are flawed.
I mean, anymore, there's no way to make perfect code. I mean, I'm a programmer, and you find flaws in code, flaws in logic, flaws in some base operations that have to get patched. It's the way the world is. And some are exploitable, some aren't. Some are for speed, some are for reliability that you do them. But I mean, Microsoft's code there's so much of it. That's such a huge code base that they have that there's got to be updates all the time, and especially because of the way Microsoft's code is designed, what's called IBM compatible. Old DOS, some old terminology.
DOS. Yeah.
Yeah, and whereas even Apple, they do updates all the time now too, but their code is not. They steal Linux and just go on top of that. They add a layer to it. So I don't know. I don't think there's as big a need for updates as there used to be. It feels like I used to get an update every day or two, or a couple updates a day or two. Now it seems like maybe once a week I'll get a few, and that's it.
Well, with this announcement, or with this, thing coming along, of course, Microsoft is also saying that you're coming to the end of life for Windows 7 and 8. Their time is coming up, and then they've also put out there that Windows 7 has a major flaw in it. They haven't said what that is, but they've just warned that it is a flawed operating system. At least I'm guessing where they've left it.
Yeah, it might be something real deep that they can't change. Kind of like, I doubt it's a hardware flaw. Obviously, it can't be because that can be installed on anything. But it's probably some, bootstrapping code that's jacked up.
Well,
or exploitable. Well, here's an example. Microsoft could announce an Office 360 style subscription to Windows 10. Imagine paying $100 a year for a family subscription with 5 Windows licenses that could be moved between PCs, and bonus features like OneDrive storage. This would be especially useful if you're building your own PCs, as Microsoft charges $120 for a single Windows 10 home license. That's not a bad deal. I mean, I was thinking $100 a year is not a bad deal.
No, especially if it's bundled with the Office Word and all that.
If you got Office 360 on top of that, or for a little bit more, or at least a license or two, not bad at all. Like, we've started using Portal the Office 360 products plus the Portal, Microsoft Portal.
Right.
And it's really nice. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the OneDrive, but if I got free storage, I would use it.
Well, and I have Office 365, through family, and I mean, we pay for it, but
you have one of the licenses.
Right. And of course you get the 5 license like they're talking about. You get 5 license, so I have it to where, and it's really nice, I can communicate with through my OneDrive. I can open they have Word apps on my iPad now. And I can open up like my PowerPoint or whatever, like for class and that sort of thing, and do my presentation off that, which has been honestly pretty neat little deal to be able to go from one thing to the other. But I mean, it's kind of a convenience thing, and it is. And $100 per month per year. Wow, per year. For an operating system like that would be honestly pretty stellar.
Yeah, you might get a specific version. I'm pretty they do a spin-off version of Windows 10. It wouldn't be like the Home Edition. It would be the subscription edition, whatever they call that. And it might have some different features rolled in, like different integrations. So I don't know. Also, when I was looking through some Microsoft news, it seems like Microsoft is teaming up with Disney also. Microsoft joins Movies Anywhere service for Xbox and Windows 10. And they're also partnering with Disney to do the new Disney streaming service. So, you might be able to roll a couple things into all of that. Like, I don't really care about the Disney streaming service, but it'll be interesting to see how everything shakes out with that. But as they garner, like, these integrations with other entities, like they already have. Of course, there's loads of apps you can buy on your computer that cost money and kind of integrate. Maybe they'll have a better integration system outside of their own stuff that does pretty well of integrating,
right?
Versus like third-party stuff, which is usually pretty awful in my opinion, that I've had to deal with. So I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'm not sure what I would do without seeing obviously a full spec of how they plan on rolling it out, and supporting it. And usually I'm not a first-gen adopter of anything unless it's
a self-driving car, because you really wanted that. We have that on podcast history that Eric would go out and buy a self-driving car right now if he could.
Yeah.
This is something that would be a thing. Yeah. So let me ask you this, though. We've talked about this quite often. So, like the iMacs, they run off the Apple operating system, and everybody that's a Appleite, they very much swear by Macs and swear by Apple products. But everything about the Apple operating system, you can't put the Apple operating system on another computer. Not without some jerry-rigging, at least.
Yeah, dual boot. Well,
it has to be an Apple product to go on the Apple operating system.
Yeah, they don't write drivers; they write directly to the hardware.
Right, and that's the thing that's what I'm curious about. Do you think that if Microsoft started putting out computers that were and giving them to companies that it was all based around their Windows 10 operating system, would it run smoother than, say, a computer that I just put it on?
I don't know. Well, I mean, because of the hardware, the problem with that is like Apple can do that because of the way they structure their hardware, and they write directly to it. Whereas, man, that'd be much more difficult, I would believe, without them predefining the specifications for the hardware a little bit tighter than you would have to if you were just buying Windows 10 and installing it yourself.
Well, I mean, that's always been one of the things. People always complain about Microsoft and their operating system, and don't hear me wrong, they've put out some duds. 2000 was terrible. 8 or Vista, I mean.
Vista was a garbage. ME.
ME was a trash fire.
Yeah, well, they were trying to get in that 2000 like scare.
Yeah.
Yeah, year 2000, everyone got scared that the world was going to end.
Well, they weren't wrong. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing is Microsoft has always got a bad rap for having lousy operating systems, but they do something different than Apple because they don't make their stuff proprietary. They don't write to the hardware like you say.
Yeah, and you don't have a license to develop on their stuff.
Right. Anybody can get their operating system and put it on, say, a computer that they built versus you can't build an iMac. I mean,
not without a lot of expertise in like hardware,
right,
software integration.
Right.
I don't say it's impossible. I'm sure it's possible. I'm sure it's a nightmare though.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was it. I played around with early on when people, I don't remember what service that was that they used, where it was you could put the Apple operating system on a PC, but it took a lot of you'd have to run the drivers and that sort of
VM?
Yeah, it was a
box or like VMware or something.
Right. And you could dual boot it.
Yeah.
And it was
Remember, Apple isn't in it. I think mostly at its heart still Linux, right?
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing is it was clunky, And it was interesting, but I mean, there wasn't really
It's
any.
practical.
I mean, there wasn't any games to play on it. I
Oh,
mean,
it's Apple. There's no games to play on Apple.
right.
Outside of a few. I don't know how they game now. Can you even game on an Apple?
I think you can. Yeah, I think they've improved on that.
WoW. You could do WoW on there back in the day. But
Well, I mean, that's all you needed back in the day. There was one game only on PCs, and that was WoW. There for actually no Oregon Trail and
yeah. Reserved to games. Yeah, let's see here.
I don't know what games are available on.
I'm curious.
What games, Eric? We're gonna look up what games are available, and I'm sure there's some Mac people out there screaming at, because I actually know some people that listen to this that are Mac Appleites. But
Do they have real jobs?
oh, kind of.
I'm sorry. I hate at work when someone's like, my Apple. I'm like, I don't want to talk about your Apple. We're Windows. We run Windows. I have on my computer thousands of dollars worth of software that I can't even, that your system can't run or talk to. It's a nightmare. And then, so like in our core of our division, we don't run any Apples, nothing with Apple except for tablets, and obviously there's some people on tablets. It's all academics that want to run that have these Macs, and students. They're the only ones that have them.
Hipsters is what you're saying.
It's not that. It's just, I mean, Apple did a great job in marketing years ago to college kids with the whole "it's cool to own a Mac" thing, which is great marketing. Then, because professors are super insecure and they want to be cool and liked by their students, because that's really how, in my opinion, academics are, and they want to fit in with their students. So it migrated to the academic body, and then there's just a nightmare of supporting all these Macs. So I'm not sure how that's working out now. We don't touch them. We can't do anything on them. We're all like, all of the developers, everybody who actually does work with real, like, industry standard stuff. We can't even touch Apple, and I wouldn't. I had to get on a Mac for something. I was like, this doesn't make sense at all. It's just the way it kind of like navigates and stuff.
Right.
I don't really get it. It might be easy, but I just don't have exposure to it.
Well, and I'll say the same. We have quite a few presenters and that sort of thing that come to my business, to
They
my
always
place.
have Macs, don't they?
Yeah, well, they don't always. Quite a few of them have Dells, because most of the people I work with are government.
Government, yeah, they all use Dell. You're never going to find a Mac in a federal building that I know of.
That's not true. I know of a few Macs in our building. And
you're a state building, though.
Yeah, we are. Well,
I can't think of like any military or federal that would really use a Mac.
Now, I remember years ago that they were really pushing Apple was really pushing to try to get into the business sphere of things, and it sounds like Microsoft still has their foot pretty
it's solid
firmly in that.
We have some Apple servers which were used at one point. I don't know if they're still around, to do like some of the garbage Apples need to be usable,
right,
and integrated to the network. And I can't really remember it all, so I didn't touch that stuff. I just remember they griped about it nonstop. So I'm maybe it's easier nowadays. And I don't
would you say griped or whined?
These are IT people, so whined.
I got you.
Non-constructive. It was just whining. I'm an IT person. I know how IT people are. We whine a lot.
Well, so I am looking. So Steam is available on Mac.
Oh, I got Steam. Yeah, I've seen options to search for OS games specifically. Let me put Steam up here. Yeah, I got Steam right now. And as it starts, it updates.
Well, and it takes a bit to talk to its overlord. But I mean, games are available. I mean, you can get Stardew Valley, which
that is a big game. You can get that on the Switch now too.
Well,
I think you can get that on the Switch, right? That's where you do all that farming.
Yeah, you do farming, which farming is apparently.
I get into that stuff, man.
Do you really?
7 Days to Die, man. It's basically a farming. I mean, you're crafting.
You're fighting zombies, sir.
Yeah, but you have most of the time.
Don't you dare speak of zombies.
We need to play some games, Nick. Maybe on those off weeks. We should inform our listeners.
We'll
have a slightly new schedule. We'll
get that. We'll get that all taken care of here in a second.
Yeah, get some of that business handled. But yeah, I don't know. I'm looking actually for a way to search. There it is. Very hard. Let's see here. Software, game, single player. It'd be on platform, wouldn't it?
I would think so. There it is. Yeah. See what kind of games are available. Let's see.
Right, so here's what I'm doing. I'm looking at Mac OS X, Mac OS X games. There's quite a few. Dead Cell, don't play that. House Flipper. Oh, I saw that game. That's like a game where you flip houses. They were playing on Funhouse. Sleeping Dogs, Hard West. I'm looking for a game that I play.
Deus Ex.
Deus Ex, yeah. I've never played that game. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody play that game. Like, in a gameplay video.
Oh, this is the police too. I don't know what that is.
Life Goes On. A lot of like little indie games. I bet they're created on a platform that can compile down to that. Maybe can Unity compile down to...
I'm seeing The Immortal Redneck.
The Immortal Redneck. Right here, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a classic game.
Man.
It looks like a first-person shooter.
Yeah, well, that's sounds like a winner of a game.
Let's see if we can find they have AAA? Like, can I select just AAA titles? Or like,
Buddy, you're asking way too much.
Steam, right? It's like it's just your high-end stuff. Relevance?
No, I think you're asking way too much for Apple. Like, not just for...
Ooh, what is this? Fantasy Grounds D&D Complete Bundle. Get all the core content, PHP, MM, and DMG, along with every adventure release to date for D&D 5th edition. Oh, that's interesting. I did not know this existed.
But you can only get it on the Apple platform.
Oh, I doubt that's true.
I'm just messing with you, man. You're the thing you're finally excited about, and you're like, I can only get it on Apple.
Yeah, I think it's all literature. It's like you want to download the books.
Well,
that's not bad. If you want to play...
That's probably cheaper than the books.
Here's what I'm playing, Tomb of Annihilation. $25. No, that's pretty much what you pay for it now.
How is it?
Yeah, that's normal price. And it's digital, which is cool. If it was PDF, that'd be the best. With high-res images. So, but there's a couple other sites that do it far better than this. They have cross-referencing between books and stuff.
Right.
So there's better, like Take 20, and that's a gaming site. I don't remember. Take 20 is one of them. All right, Taking 20. All right, so...
Eric, let me ask you this. Let me throw the question back at you. How much would you pay? Would you pay $100 for Microsoft updates?
A year?
Yes.
If for multiple computers, yes. If I got 5 licenses, 100%. That's $20 a year for a license.
Mm-hmm.
I would do that.
You think so?
Oh yeah, for 5 computers. I only have 2 computers right now. Not that I'd get more, but if they had a deal, eventually I have 3 kids. I'm going to need more computers. My son's in there right now, probably watching some body play video game.
Well, that's what people do, is watch people play video games.
Yeah, right. That's all they do.
This has become a large career for people. Well, Eric, I think that's all we have time for. We talked about the we really broke down the Microsoft issue.
I don't think we did.
I think we did.
We talked around it. I mean, if they do it, cool. If they don't, that's okay too.
Yeah.
I'm not too concerned with anything. I'm looking forward to cars that drive themselves.
Oh, is that
that's what I look?
That's the future for Eric.
A car that drives itself. It's yes, 100%. That's all I want.
That's all you want.
All I want.
One that doesn't run over people, because currently the problem is they keep running over people.
Hey, no, that one that ran over a person, that I think it was a lady, or the person was walking at night in all black, and it was a test vehicle, and they had turned off one of the systems that causes the car to stop on its own when it sees somebody. If I remember right, there was like a lot of conditions to it.
Well, but there's been a lot of accidents with the self-driving cars.
I don't know when the last accident was. I haven't really followed it.
Well, we'll look that up offline. Eric, you know what's not an accident? Them listening to us. And why don't you tell them where they can find us?
You can find us all over the big, beautiful world of the internet. Like I said before, you can find us on Facebook. Go there and comment. We do kind of monitor that. And just search for Pull Up a Chair Podcast. You can find us also on YouTube at Pull Up a Chair Podcast. You can find some old archive videos we have there. We haven't put up a new video in a while. We might need to shoot an actual video.
Yeah.
What else? You can find us on every podcasting app, iTunes, all the Android apps, and you can find us on Twitter. At Pull Up a Chair Pod is our handle. We are not the InfoWars. We still exist on the internet. We have not been stricken from it yet.
No, we have not. Well, everyone, we thank you for listening, but we do need to tell you, Eric did bring up something. We are going to start going to an every other week format. I am recently married and want to spend time with my wife, and sometimes doing this every week kind of cuts into that time. So we're going to look at doing. We don't know what that's going to look like yet, but we'll figure that out. Yeah. So anyway, that'll be starting after next week, and we'll see what that looks like. So, Eric, any final thoughts?
No.
Go out and buy your Microsoft computer now.
Yeah, go out there, get on the wait list.
Yeah.
Get your subscription.
Yeah.
I highly suggest it.
Get on the beta.
Go to PUCpodcast.website. Go there, and weekly you signed up. Just submit a payment of $9.95 per month. Just keep that going. We'll keep you updated with news and Windows updates.
Yeah, pay that to the order of Eric at 555-5555. Just call that phone number and you'll get through to him. All right, everybody, have yourself a Microsoft day and an Apple tomorrow.
Gross. Bye.